Good morning. Ignore the laundry. So today is Saturday the 12th, and it is the end of week 2 for me. Just a quick recap of the week. I definitely did not succeed at recording and documenting my week. I knew that with my kids being home, it was gonna be more difficult. I'm gonna give myself some grace. I'm gonna let it go. This week is a wash. All discipline just went out the window, basically. I barely hit 10K steps just because I was at home. We were relaxing. We were having a quiet day. I just wasn't really focused on my goals. So I do kind of feel like I need to set some non-negotiables for myself. I'm gonna try to incorporate something like that going forward. But anyways, I'm gonna go weigh myself. I don't know if I said everything that I wanted to say here, but I just want to get my day started. So because last week was a little bit difficult for me to stay consistent with getting out for walks, I committed myself this week to consistency. I really wanted to make sure that every day I was getting out for a walk, and I've made a 20-minute walk my daily non-negotiable. If you make a non-negotiable something that you just can't say no to, once I get outside and I start that 20-minute walk, it always turns into a 45-minute or an hour-long walk. And that is just because I'm already out. So I might as well get to my 10,000 steps and call it a day.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about weight loss. It is very simple to lose weight. The theory behind it, the math behind it, it is simple. The reason why it is so difficult for a lot of us to actually stick to a plan is because a lot of times the progress that we see is so slow. The reason why I'm currently losing at the rate that I am losing, in the last 3 weeks, I think it's been, I've lost about 8.8 pounds. Is it 2 weeks or 3 weeks? Either way. And that is only because I am like starting fresh. I had hit a plateau in my weight loss effort a while ago. And then because I hit that plateau, I just kind of didn't really give it the attention that it deserved in order to like break through that plateau. Now, because I've decided that I'm gonna switch it up, I'm really amping up my cardio and I'm going for walks. I'm hitting my 10K steps more. Whereas before I would go to the gym, and to be completely honest, I wasn't really giving it my all. I would go to the gym and just the simple fact that I was there and I was moving more than I was prior, I was able to lose weight because my body was like, oh, we're moving, we're actually like doing something. So I was using a lot of the energy that I had stored in my body. But then I hit a plateau because I was just doing the same things. I wasn't really pushing myself a lot more, and I also wasn't really being consistent. The fact that I have been consistent with getting 10K steps in, that alone has been enough, I think. I know it's going to slow down. I know that day is coming. And even like after I went to Wonderland, it took me almost that week to like finally drop. And that was really because I was like, nope, I'm gonna be very diligent with the amount of food that I'm putting into my body, the type of food that I'm putting into my body. That's so funny that I have an icy there. That's my kids. And there was no late night binging, no snacking throughout the day. I think a huge part of the success that I've seen so far is because I am creating content surrounding this entire journey. So I'm kind of like living, breathing. Everything that I'm doing is related to creating this type of content. It's at the forefront of my mind. I have to make these changes and I have to stick to it. It just feels a little bit more motivating because now I've got a camera in front of me. I've got content that I want to create. So I want to be a little bit more intentional with the content that I am making, because last week I was just recording and I recorded stuff with my kids and it wasn't really specific to my weight loss journey. So I really do want to be a lot more laser focused on the type of content that I'm creating. So anyways, I gotta get gas and I will catch you in the next one.
Are you ready to go for a little walk?
Oh, you're so excited.
All right.
Okay, let's go. Oh, who's excited? Oh, there we go. I almost forgot to set my watch. Here we go. I feel like I will forever feel so weird recording myself while I'm outside with a selfie stick. It just feels so weird. But yeah, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about weight loss and how it is essentially just a numbers game. When you are going down this path of like trying to find what works for you, it's not going to be a perfect process. There's so many people who will post online that they were able to lose like 100 pounds in 4 months or something ridiculous like that. Not everybody is built that way. Not everybody has the capacity to be able to like eat, breathe, live weight loss. Do what you can within the confines of what you're able to actually do realistically. Because for some people, waking up every day at 5 a.m. is like not a flex. Like it's just impossible for them. Or some people have to wake up that early and go to work and they are working 12-hour shifts and they're not able to find the time really to go to the gym because they've also got to manage having a house full of kids. Or I just feel like figuring out what works for you and sticking to that, even if it takes you a year to lose 30 pounds, that's still 30 pounds that you weren't gonna lose if you didn't like find the thing that works for you. Also too, at the end of the day, weight loss is really just like a numbers game. And I kind of obsess over the numbers a little bit just because like I know that it works. At the end of the day, it's just about calories in and calories out. If you are finding yourself in a position where you cannot eat any less than you already are, for example. I mean, they do say not to eat less than like 1,200 calories because like everyone's BMR is different. And if you've ever tried to live off of 1,200 calories, that is like nothing. It is so easy to get to 1,200 calories, like especially if you go out to eat a lot. 1,200 calories is very easily one meal. So it's just not sustainable. So you really just have to focus on increasing your energy expenditure, so moving your body more and finding ways to still feel satisfied, still feel full, still get all the nutrients that your body needs in a caloric deficit. What I find works for me is, I guess it's like a variation of intermittent fasting. I don't really like to eat first thing in the morning. And I do feel like, well, when I went to the gym, I would go to the gym at like 5 in the morning or like 5:30. I found that like, I wasn't really building muscle as effectively as I could have been because I wasn't really prioritizing the food that I was eating and like making sure that I was getting enough protein. Like this was when I first started. So now protein is like the number one thing that I focus on. All of my meals are surrounding sources of protein and fiber. Fiber is also very key to feeling full and making sure that you're not like overdoing it with just protein. Your body will thank you if you're getting enough fiber. Also too, trying to eat in a calorie deficit. So I'll just use me as an example. I am just over 5'2" in terms of height, and I weigh currently 229. Well, I cannot eat 1,200 calories. That's like impossible. I aim for around 1,600 calories, and even then, I do find that I can hit 1,600 very easily, and by the evening, I'm like ready to like start binging because I'm just so used to eating volume. So one thing that I did notice with my factor meals is that it isn't exactly volume. The ingredients that they use to like cook the food, I do find like every time that I add it to my calorie tracker, that those meals do tend to be a little bit higher in fat. Fat has a higher caloric density than like carbs and protein. Trying to add that meal in, but still feel full, you just have to try to find what works for you. I will very easily get to 1,600 calories, and I can do like a what I eat in a day to show you guys what that looks like for me. I'm just saying, finding what works for you. So walking is very effective for increasing your energy expenditure. It's easy, it's free. You don't have to have a fancy gym membership. I do recommend the gym though. If you're looking to do a body recomp, then you might want to look into getting an exercise program, like an actual strength training program. But if you're just looking for fat loss, you really just need to focus on having a calorie deficit. And in order to create that calorie deficit, it's a matter of eating a little bit less and increasing your energy expenditure. So then it creates that deficit. Once you know what your BMR is and you know what your maintenance calories, and then eating just under that and then increasing your activity level is going to create a deficit. And you will lose. It may be slow, but you will lose. That's just my little 2 cents on the matter. And now I'm gonna shut this thing off and really hone in on this walk. So I was actually in the middle of saying what works for me. Tracking
is very key. If you're not tracking, then you can't figure out where you're sitting. You'll have no idea what isn't working if you aren't collecting the data needed in order to figure out what's working and what isn't. Yeah, my protein targets, ever since I learned about protein and like had an understanding of how protein works, protein is king when it comes to planning, when I'm planning out my meals. All of my meals have at least 30 grams of protein, at the very least 30 grams of protein. It sounds so easy, but I am not going to sit here or walk here and lie to you and say that it's like super easy, because sometimes it's not. Sometimes, you know, life happens and you're not able to get that walk in, or you're not able to like move as much as you would have liked. And, you know, work happens, you have deadlines, you have kids, you have all these factors that really come into play, which is why I was saying earlier that it's really hard for a lot of people, depending on their lifestyle. You know, you can't just like wake up and only focus on weight loss. As much as it would be nice to like be completely isolated, not have my kids bugging me for snacks, which then makes me want to have snacks. You know what I mean? Like that's where I really fall off. Like I'm the most successful when my kids are at their dad's, because I don't have to cook for anybody. I'm not like being tempted by all like the kids' foods and the kids' snacks and the things that they want, you know? And it's difficult. It makes it so much harder. So just give yourself grace and do what you can. So if you have a few off days, you have a few off days. It is what it is. By the end of the year, if you haven't made any progress, then, you know, then you're really gonna have to assess your life. And if you're not collecting data, how are you gonna assess it? So I really do believe in tracking everything and having some daily non-negotiables. And then I am also fortunate enough that with the one business that I have, my daycare, I can easily get 5,000 steps in just from doing my job with the daycare. And then I incorporate going for a walk with them. We walk to a park that's a little bit further away, just for the simple fact of I want to get my steps in. So I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone, getting that walk in throughout the week. And by the end of the day, I've hit my 10K steps. So it's only as difficult as you make it out to be. So when you have systems and you have your tracking and you have things in place, like your daily non-negotiables that keep you on track, then you can't not be successful. I'm just talking in general for people who are like, you know, you want to lose weight, but you don't exactly know where to start. It doesn't have to be that difficult. So I'm all sweaty. I just was out for at least an hour. I managed to hit all my targets on my watch, so I'm excited about that. That didn't really take too long. Yeah, I don't know. It was a good walk. So that's the end of this week, and I hope that you guys like, comment, and subscribe. I know there's only like 4 people that watch my videos, which is totally fine. I'm cool with that. I'm pretty excited. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope that you have a good rest of your week. Bye.
A mí me dolió que te fueras con otro, llenaste mi corazón de odio, a la basura tiraste todo. Y hoy a mí me dolió que te fueras con otro, llenaste mi corazón de odio, a la basura tiraste todo.